Jax, did you give a commencement speech or did you give an honorary speech? You got a honorary, honorary diploma from Nova Scotia Community College.
Look at you.
And you spoke. And I had somebody reach out who I know from the radio industry.
No way.
Say, oh my God, I'm graduating from NSCC today.
Yeah.
And Jax is here giving a speech. And I didn't realize you were like giving like a full-blown speech.
I gave a full speech, yeah.
So talk to us about the speech that you gave in front of how many graduates?
I think it was like 300 or so. Yeah, it was, no, maybe, wow. I don't know.
That's a big room.
I'll have to look at the list. So it was at Mount St. Vincent University, which is a university in Halifax, but they have like a lot of big spaces. That's where the graduation was.
I love their campus.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Along the railroad tracks there. That was my drive into work every day.
In Bedford.
At the Bedford Highway.
Nova Scotia.
Well, that wasn't Bedford Highway. That's the other way.
It was a gorgeous day. It was last Wednesday. And actually, I have some of the speech, so I'll put it in the podcast if you want to listen to it.
Yes, please.
It was interesting because, you know, I've done larger speeches and things like that. I've done keynote speaking, but I didn't really know what to prepare for because they'd asked me, they're like, if you want, please, just to do a little thank you. You don't know what to expect until you're like on the stage and you're like, can kind of get a vibe check. And when I got up there, I was like, okay, this has to be, I knew it would be informal, but I was like, this has to be extra informal. But I also had to give the notes of what I was talking about to the interpreter.
Sure.
So she would kind of know, all the signing,
and all that,
But at the end of the speech, essentially also when the, I had to sit on stage the entire time.
Yep.
With the rest of the faculty and clap for all the graduates. And essentially, when they were introing me, they kind of said what I wanted to say about like what the, you know, students could look forward to. So I just kind of, I chatted to the students. And at the end of my speech, I put my like papers down. I said, all right, frig this. And I just kind of chatted. It was really wonderful. I kind of,
were you nervous?
I was terrified. Yeah. I've been, you know, I said this, I think last week, I've done some really cool things in my life, but doing that in front of my mom and my aunts was nerve wracking. It was really big for me.
Yeah. How is everyone? Yeah. I just want to take a couple, you said such beautiful things about me, Kathleen, but I just want to take a couple of minutes to address the students here who are graduating today because, I've done some really cool things, but I'm nervous. This is really, really big for me, so yeah, thank you. Obviously, humongous thanks to all of NSCC, not only, and I will ride for this forever, one of the best schools in the country, if not North America, fast forward to now, I do talk on a microphone. It's in my humid apartment in Toronto. I'm calling probably someone's aunt in here. So, and posting on TikTok. So I really appreciate that you guys watch because it's been a journey. Thank you. That can turn it off. Okay. Done that. I love you. Dartmouth forever. NSCC. I will shout you from the rooftop. It's very hot outside. Please hydrate. Because I know you're all free partying tonight. And tell me where the party is. To all the family, you guys should also party and hydrate. I love you, NSCC. Dartmouth forever.
Yeah. And you didn't. And you said this on the last show, but for anybody that might have missed it, you didn't get to go to your graduation.
I didn't get to go to my graduation, and I had some people think, "Are they giving you this because you didn't graduate?" And honestly, very valid question because I make it seem like I didn't.
But you did.
I did graduate from RTA, yeah, and then I got to go see I got a campus tour of Nova Scotia Community College, and it's one of the most stunning buildings in all of Nova Scotia. The campus is there. The architect that they work with is wild. But yeah, it was really cool to go back there, see my old stomping grounds. The one thing I will say, however, is that I anticipated that they would give me my diploma would be I don't know, this big.
Mm-hmm.
Adam,
how big is it?
I couldn't bring it home.
Really?
I couldn't bring it back to Toronto.
So you have to ship it? What do you do?
I left it at my friend's parents' house. Because it's humongous.
When you say humongous, for people who are audio listening, what would you say?
What would you
compare it to?
I would say it's the size.
Like a front room mirror?
It's like a poster that you do in school.
Like a Bristol board sort of presentation. It's
and
huge.
It's in glass.
Wow.
It's beautiful. But I had was walking around with it. I didn't know what to do. It was so hot. I went to lunch at this pub with my family after. I couldn't leave it in the car. I was nervous. But yeah, it's humongous. But it was so nice. And Yeah, it was a tremendous honor.
Good for you.
That's all I'll say.
Good for you.
That's all I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Jax? We're thrilled for you. Like, that's amazing.
Well, Adam, as now the most educated person in the room, actually, no, Steph has a degree. Never mind.
You have a degree?
Yeah.
Went to university?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. What'd you graduate for?
I went to York University for film and media.
Oh.
Graduated with
You
honors.
got a 4-year, don't you?
Yeah, 4 years
Oh,
honors.
she's way more
You know,
educated than both of
they
us.
say about York University?
What?
You with a fork, you can go to York.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's what they say. You've never heard that?
No. Stop it.
Yeah. That's what they say.
They say the same thing with, was it Brock? It was something about like, if your head's full of rocks, you can go to Brock. Like,
So dumb.
it's just people being snooty. There's nothing wrong with York's amazing. It's just,
That's what they say. That's what they say.
yeah, right?
4 years, though. That's a lot of debt. That's a lot of
It's
debt.
a lot of essays.
It's a lot of essays. Oh my God. You know what I noticed? So I'm the
What are you
least
doing for 4 years?
I'm the least educated one here because I have the distinction of dropping out of college and university. But I did university first. And when university for me was all like essays. It was all essays,
Yeah.
and it was all by hand, right? There was no whatever especially during the exams. I remember going to college literally the next year and being able to fire off an essay in about 30 minutes that it took the rest of my class like 2 hours to do.
Stop.
So I would do like, because I went from like, it was called arts and contemporary studies. So it was like philosophy. So you're writing these big, long dissertations on Plato and Socrates and, all this stuff. And, what did he mean by this in the Republic and whatever. And then, so I went to college and they're like, you have to take an English class when you were in radio because it's English. And then I did a history class and I would be done my exam in 20 minutes. I swear to God. And I would just like look around and I would sit there for an extra 10 just to wait and see if somebody else would finish before I did, because I was so hyper trained on essays that I just fire them off and everything. I went to college. So university, my grades were very mediocre. I went to college. I was like 90s across the board because university was so intense.
It's so intense.
It's such an intense experience.
I am so grateful, and nothing against a lot of the 4-year programs for radio. But I didn't need 4 years to learn how to get, like,
No.
I needed like applicable skill. Like I needed to be in the industry, and I love NSCC because they were like, we want to get you trained. We want to get you in. Like they're very pro. You have to be in the job to know how to do it.
Well, they've shut my program down at Humber, but it was very much the same. It was like job. Like it gets vocational training.
There was one radio graduate coming from, like, there's RTA, so it's like radio, television, and then you can major in journalism. I guess it's RTJ now, but a lot of television students, a lot of journalism focused students. There was one radio.
Wow.
So I guess it kind of shows you where things are going a little bit, but I think they're shifting to podcasts, and the
as they should.
faculty there is amazing. I did want to show you just a couple of pictures that I was sent.
Please.
Of me in radio school that have been, I've never seen before. This is
let's see these pictures.
The first week
God.
of radio school.
Okay, so let's explain this haircut. Explain the haircut with the sideburn thing. What's happening there?
So what had happened was that Teresa, my ex-girlfriend, and I weren't on speaking terms right now, and she's a hairstylist. And you can very easily tell when we weren't on good terms because my hair looked fucked. And
where would you go get your hair done?
Myself. Look at those bangs.
You did that yourself?
I was cutting it with my mother's kitchen scissors. And she looks unhappy. She looks unwell. But
she
don't
looks a
worry,
little sassy, actually.
She's got a tattoo of a koi fish.
Yeah, she does.
This is the original outline.
That'd be Jax.
Now,
Jax kind of looks like, I don't know. It's almost like that haircut reminds me of like old English, like landed gentry, like bad bangs, and it looks like like a Mel Gibson movie, like Braveheart. Like you're the evil Englishman.
I look mean. Now, don't worry. Here I am. I'm very high.
Oh,
yeah.
Had you smoked a joint before that?
I smoked a joint. I'm in radio because you can tell from my headphones. And my
you got
stretched
your ear
ears are
spacers?
just as big. And now one last one for you.
I love this.
This is me on getting I gave my virtual valedictorian.
You were the valedictorian. I love that you were the
of her?
valedictorian.
You know what?
She's a girl's just getting on her road.
She's a girl's girl. She's beginning her journey.
That's right. And where did you go from Nova Scotia? You moved all the way across the country
I went to Prince George, British Columbia to make $21,000 a year.
And
which I think at that point was under minimum wage.
did you rent a room?
What's that?
Did you rent a room or an apartment?
Yeah, I rented a room.
Because that's the thing. Like in radio, when you start out, you're not renting an apartment. You're renting a room in an apartment.
I rented a room and then I moved out because they were moving away, these two men. And then I rented a room from I don't think I've ever told you this.
Go tell me.
I rented a room from a woman named Helga. And she was an older woman who I think missed her children. And I lived in her basement, which I like always like would tell my friends, I just have like my own apartment down there. Like, no, I didn't. I lived in an old woman's basement for $400 a month. And I kept getting pissed because I would come home and she would do my laundry. She'd like fold my clothes and stuff. And I was like, Helga, please stop.
So yeah, that'd be weird. I don't want anyone else doing my laundry.
I wanted to like bring a girl home, but I was like, I don't know what Helga's done.
Yeah, or Helga might get jealous. You never know.
I don't know. Yeah, Helga.
Was it a crush thing or a mom thing?
Helga deeply wanted to care for me. And I was like, Helga, I moved here as an independent woman and I didn't need a mom. I've never talked about this out loud before.
I think you got.
She lived on Parsnip Crescent in Prince George.
If you can't tell this story, we'll cut it. But there's a story about you with gift cards. Can you tell that story? Or no, because it's so funny.
I guess it doesn't matter.
It's
right?
really funny. It's such because here's the thing. Like, I'll be honest with you. I'll just straight up tell you. I used to steal toilet paper from the Halifax radio station. When I worked at 101.3 The Bounce. It was in a place called the Pink Palace. Yeah. And I had no money. I had no money. I was working by the hour. I did not have like whatever. So if I ever ran out of toilet paper and there was no paycheck coming, I would just take one of them from the bathroom and just take it home. And it was that one ply, like you could read a newspaper through stuff.
It was so, I can feel it. Oh, it was awful. I used to get like cuts out, like if I had a cold or something, because before COVID, everyone just would work while sick.
Yeah.
I would like, it would cut my nose because it was like.
And the cream, like if I wanted cream for my coffee, I didn't buy milk. I only had water in the house. Yeah. I had nothing. So I used to steal the little cream packets from the kitchen and be like, okay, this is my ration for the week. I'd only take what I needed though, because I did not want to get caught. No. And then the other thing I used to do.
Would have given it in your mouth.
I know they would. They were so kind there. I should have just asked. Then the other thing I used to do is there was a farm down the street, and my friend Zach, his parents told me about it, where you could get 20 freeze-dried chicken breasts for $20.
Can you imagine?
And that's what I would eat every week and a half. So I was flat out eating eggs in the morning and then chicken for lunch and dinner. And that's all. And then frozen vegetables, right? Like I just had frozen. That was it. That's all I had.
Just ripped.
So I say that because I was a thief.
Because it's okay to steal is what I'm saying.
Because sometimes you're desperate.
We may have had gift certificates to a local taco place and I may not have had money. And then one time I went to Taco Del Mar with a gift certificate from the radio station. I got caught.
That was supposed to be for the listeners.
That was supposed to be for the listeners. And they were like, I got a talking to from, I guess the manager called the radio station was like, yeah, the midday girls here using the gift certificates. But I was
you were so hungry.
But also like, I shouldn't say I wasn't making a lot of money, but like I was drinking wine. I could have just like used my wine money on lunch. You know what I mean? It was like,
but you can't mess with that.
Yeah, you can't. That was my wine money. But yeah, no, I was just a little hungry. Yeah, a little salty treat. And they were like, "Your girl's up here."
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I think my mom.
And I would never steal again.
My mom told a story once where as she was talking to a boss again, radio just does. People think radio pays a lot. It doesn't.
Oh no.
And this was when she was in Calgary, but she said to her boss, she's like, I need a raise. And he's like, well, you're in it for the passion. You're not in it for the money.
Don't chase the money.
And she said, And then she said, I would like to buy a house plant and I can't afford a house plant.
Yeah.
Can you just, so he was like, he felt bad and he gave her the raise, but like, it wasn't like it was a big raise.
No. And here's the thing is a lot of these jobs, most radio jobs, they don't want you working another job. In fact, a lot of them in your contract, they forbid it. However, if you need to make a living or you have children and it's like,
that's my bone to pick with radio. It's like usually people make peanuts, but then you're on the radio giving away loads of money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you get 100,000, but we freaking don't.
Yeah. It's like, congratulations.
Yeah.
You get 100,000, but I need benefits.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was like that before. And now it's, in a different place and maybe not as healthy and well, certainly not as healthy. And now it's like the crunch is on, but it's crazy. I feel like they really, before the internet, you couldn't get away with this today, but they really, really got away with, well, you got to pay your dues and blah, 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 without telling you that the system is completely rigged. And listen, I did okay in my radio career. I really did. But it was years of slogging it out for nada. And you know, and that's the thing. People are like, well, you get to be on the radio. It's like, yeah, I'd like to eat too. It's kind of crazy. And I know, knowing the economics the way I do now, because I run a business, I know they had the money to pay me more than that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know they did. And if it had been an extra $5,000, it would have made all the difference for me over the course of a year. For them, they wouldn't have noticed it.
And there's shops like, you know, there's places like, for example, that are unionized. Like there's back in Halifax where you're making like real, like healthy, like good money, and you're also being treated well. So it's like there are places that can exist where you
Halifax was great for that, except I was part-time. So that was my problem. When you're full-time there, now you're in the money.
Not like, there's a way to care for your employees and also care for your business.